So today I'm here with TruMrFu, team captain for the Tru Neck Beards. How's it going, TruMrFu?
It's going pretty good.
So how's the season been so far? Has it gone as planned? Why or why not?
It's been pretty rough, like internally. As far as wins, losses go, it's gone kind of as planned. We don't get to practice much as some of the other teams. And actually, so a lot of the season we've been just trying to figure out like what roles fit for everybody. And I was going back and looking, and the roles that we kind of decided on, we've actually only run 3 times. Oh no, 4 times, and 3 of them were
What roles were those?
So Sand on tank, Orange Tool on range DPS, Crystal on offlane, Ghost Bear on healer, and me on flex. And we've only actually run that 4 times, and 3 of them were versus Into Deep, and I mean they're just outmatch us. So, and then the 4th one was against True 8, and we know how that went. I think we're pretty solid in our roles, but I mean, Into Deep, they just kind of outmatch us. So it's a tough fight every time we play them.
I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Your next match is your first round playoff against the Betty White Otakus. Now, I know you've had a close game with them before earlier in the season. I remember that Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Is there any of that you plan to sort of look back into and see how you can get into that same position?
Well, yeah, we're going to ban Samuro starting because that single-handedly lost us that Tomb game. I've played with them, and actually the last week of the season, I played against them again when I subbed in on Extra Cheese, so I got another look at one of their comps, and it's pretty strong. They're a good team, They played together well, and they round each other out. They're not as skilled as some of the other teams, but they're very coordinated. So that's going to be tricky. We're not going to be able to like ban out of here or take advantage of a weak link,
How are the Tru Neck Beards going to get past this first round match and defeat the Betty White Otakus?
Team fighting. Like, that's our macro is weak because we just don't play enough together. So it's going to be weaker. But if we can get some like game team fights, get a couple kills, then we can win.
On the straw poll you created saying which team would win, not one person out of the 13 responses said that the Tru Neck Beards would win against Betty White Otakus. Does that worry you at all?
Not really. The poll was right after our games, and those were some devastating losses. So, I mean, I know I voted for us to lose, but that doesn't mean I think we're going to lose now, Emotions play a part of it. Like, people on our team are very emotional. But it doesn't mean we don't have a plan. It doesn't mean now, a week and a half later, we're not confident in what we're going to do.
So you kind of mentioned that people were emotional after your last season, the last game of the season. Has that been a recurring thing, or just this last match?
No, it's a recurring thing. People don't like to lose. We actually started this. I started this team, a bunch of random people, and I told them all before. I'm like, hey, this is going to be a not try hard team. We're probably not going to practice. We're just going to play every Sunday and then see what goes from there. But then once you start playing, you're like, no, losing sucks, and you want to try. But it was hard for us to all get together because with people in different time zones and different schedules, and I have a pretty strict schedule on when I can play. And then with being in a different time zone, it was basically impossible to get practices in. So it was hard to get better, but we also all hated losing. So there was a lot of frustration throughout the season.
Yeah. Do you think that frustration is going to build up your motivation to do better on your playoff round? Or is it still kind of lingering and you think it's going to actually undo the team more so?
If we lose the first game, it could unravel us, especially if it's a really bad loss. But I know I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm pretty motivated. Like I said, we haven't played our true comp very often. And I've been learning Range Assassin. Sand's been learning Tank. So we got people learning roles and learning to play with other people. Learning to play with how your tank engages takes a while. And basically, all our games this season were practices because we didn't get time to practice. So the only time we got to practice was the actual games on Sunday. So we were working stuff out, trying stuff that we're not going to try in the playoffs, but we wanted to try it and see if it worked because, you got to figure stuff out and figure out what people's strengths are. But I think the team's pretty motivated. So I think game one, at least, if we get demolished, then, I'm sure everyone will see towards the end of game one if we're getting demolished, but I don't think we will. I think we have a pretty good chance, and I think we match up pretty well against the Betty White Otakus.
In that case, I wish you and the other members of the Tru Neck Beards the best of luck in your round one playoffs against the Betty White Otakus.